What's up, Cave Dwellers? I'm Gabe.
I'm Darren. And today we're going to thank our sponsors. All right, everybody. Gabe, what are we talking about today?
Star Wars Visions.
Absolutely. We are talking about Star Wars Visions. Mainly, we're going to go over Visions a little bit, talk about what it is, and give our little review, some things we did like, some things we didn't like about it. But we'll just go ahead and start off here with what is Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Visions is a reimagination of the Star Wars saga. So, basically, it would be as if, Star Wars were to be reimagined as a whole in someone else's eyes. Then they chose anime, so Japanese studios, to do the reimagination of it. The show is comprised of 9 anime-inspired original short films with various Japanese animation studios that represent a different cultural perspective to Star Wars. So they're very different. They're very diverse, and there's a lot of things that were that felt like Star Wars, and some things that didn't feel like Star Wars.
Some things felt like nothing at all.
Yeah, it's all just random stuff that was thrown in there. Not every episode is about a Jedi. Not every episode is about a main character. Not every episode it's just random stuff. It's kind of cool.
Like each thing exists in its own little realm.
Right, because it's not like
none of it's canon.
None of it's canon. It's like it's not canon. It's not Legends. Whereas, Genndy Tartakovsky's...
We're getting in a new area here.
Right, the Visions. We'll just call it Visions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Genndy Tartakovsky's 2003 Clone Wars series is no longer canon. It's considered Legends, but there's a lot of stuff used from that is now canon now. Whereas this is going to be like its own thing. So, each short film of Visions has a corresponding featurette called Star Wars Visions Filmmaker Focus, which basically is like a behind-the-scenes type of thing. So if you're into behind-the-scenes, how it was made, the idea, the art style, all that stuff, that's definitely something for you. Not me so much. I just kind of watched it, enjoyed it for what it is, and gave my thoughts on it. There are a couple that I probably will go back and watch them, but not for every single one of them.
Yeah, I probably won't. It's not my thing.
Not you either? No. There is a novel coming out called Ronin that will tie into the first short film called The Duel.
I'm not a reader, but I'd read it.
After I read that earlier, I contemplated saying, you know what, I might read this book too, because that first episode was my favorite. I thought it had the coolest art style, very samurai.
If not, I'll just be a poser and have it on a bookshelf.
Maybe me too. Or maybe I'll just steal yours.
Don't you touch my book.
Anyways,
I will beat your hands up with a lightsaber for that.
Anyways, yeah, I liked the first episode. I liked the art style and whatnot, but we'll get there in just a minute. Star Wars and anime fans have been asking for a Star Wars anime for years. There have been numerous little anime things that independent people have put out, little studios have put out on YouTube and on I'm sure other places. I've just seen them on YouTube. Specifically one called TIE Fighter. It was a short film called TIE Fighter Short Film on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, you should really look it up.
It's really cool.
That is very cool. I think it deserved a spot on Visions, but because it's older, 7, 8 years old, however old it is now, it just wasn't at the right timing, and that's why I say this now for anime fans and Star Wars fans and anime and Star Wars fans. This is the perfect timing for a Star Wars anime. I think Visions came out right at the right time because anime is now bigger than it ever has been.
Perfect time.
There have been animes all the way back until 60s, 70s, 50s? I don't even know. I know back in the 60s, 70s, and really big in the 80s and 90s. There's been anime fans and animes way back then, but they were not as big as they are now. They're not as mainstream as they are now. I mean, half of Netflix is literally just random animes. There's a whole streaming service.
It's nuts.
There's a whole streaming service that is just for animes, and they're huge. I mean, people, you'd be surprised on how big animes are if you're not into them.
It's like a bandwagon effect now. Somebody's like, hey, this one's good. everybody goes to.
But they're making them about everything. I mean, Van Helsing is an anime now. There's some about Greek mythology. There's some about Star Wars now. It's huge. So I think this was a great timing for it. And if you're into that type of stuff and you've never seen Star Wars TIE Fighter short film, you ought to go watch it. And there's another one, and I don't remember the name of it. I've seen it a couple times, and I just Googled Star Wars anime and it popped up. It was a really cool one that you should check out as well. It's like it's like a short Skywalker 6 movie, like
the tragedy of Anakin.
Yeah, it really was like the tragedy of Anakin and Luke. So, with that being said, that is what Star Wars Visions is. We're gonna go right into some of the main cast there that was noted to be the voice actors for that, which you should know some of them. There were some of them I didn't know, and some of them I can't pronounce their names, so I'm not going to because I don't want to. I don't want to butcher it that bad. So we just threw a list here of some of the voice actors, some of the big ones there, and then we'll go into a couple of the episodes there and what we did and didn't like. So Gabe, you can start off with a couple of them there.
Neil Patrick Harris is one, which he's really big now, and everybody pretty much knows who he is. He played Kare, which was what we consider kind of a fake Luke.
Like a knockoff Luke. That was from, I don't remember the actual episode, but we'll get there in a minute.
It was the second episode, or third. Yeah, third.
Yeah, third episode.
Band is number 2.
Simu Liu, which is the bladesmith in one of the later episodes there. That is actually the guy who played Shang-Chi.
I think that's a very cool turn on the kyber crystals, and I think that could be turned into canon with synthetic kyber crystals.
I liked the episode, actually. I did like that one.
That was a really cool turn on kyber
another
crystals.
Another actor here was David Harbour, Taijin, which is the master from the 7th episode, the one where he goes to the planet, and the master and the Dan was his apprentice, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's David Harbour. If you don't know who David Harbour is, that is Sheriff Hopper from Stranger Things. It's also the bad cop from Equalizer, and he also plays in, you said something earlier.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, that's right. He is Captain Russia?
Soviet Captain America?
Yeah, the Soviet Captain America. That's right.
It's like red something.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's
another one in that was Brian T. That plays Ronan in the first episode.
Drift King.
He's also Drift King from Tokyo Drift, and he also is a nurse in one of the shows that might have been Grey's Anatomy. I don't know. One of them. He basically what happened is he lost the drift race and had to move to America and become a nurse. So.
Okay. I hope I'm saying it right, but Masako Nizawa, which is TOB1, or also she plays Goku.
Yeah, that is the voice actor for Goku. One of the voice actors for Goku. I'm not going to say the voice actor, but one of the voice actors for Goku.
That is really cool, which I figured they'd throw in some, really popular anime voice actors into it.
And they did, and some of them I cannot pronounce their names. One of the next ones here is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, played Jay. That is the Padawan from the
band episode.
That's right, the band episode. He was the Padawan from the band episode.
So could never use his lightsaber.
Yeah, right. If those of you don't know, he is one of the main characters in Inception and a lot of other movies. That's just the first one I thought of.
He also became he was going to become Robin in the Dark Knight series.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they were going to continue it with him being Robin as the main character in Batman's Gone.
Interesting.
Which would have been really cool.
Another one, one of the big actors there was Tamura Morrison, that plays Boba Fett. He played Boba Fett in the second episode too. He's also the biggest role in Star Wars ever because he played well over a million different characters.
Correct.
Or
well over a million more on the way.
Yeah, he's like with a million here and well over a million more on the way, or whatever it said. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So that was just some of the
the chibi Boba Fett was pretty cool.
I liked him, but I didn't like how he was like grooving to the song. I was like, that's not Boba Fett. He would have shot the guy. He would not even questioned it. He wouldn't have saved his life.
Yeah.
He'd have shot the guy.
You're right.
Anyways, we're going to jump into some of the episodes here. I am going to pull my phone out because I'm lame and did not have enough board space to look at this. So we can go over the list of episodes just so we can kind of talk about them a little bit here while we go on. We're not going to stay on this too long, just kind of tell what we did or didn't like about it. And Yeah, we'll start off with the duel. This was my favorite episode. This was
the episode that I was trying to convince him with. I said that it is worth watching this episode alone to just like this episode is worth the entire series.
You know,
I love it.
It's funny that they put this one in first because like you watch this one, you're like, wow, they're hitting it really strong. And then there's a couple episodes in there where you're just like, I'm not gonna say which ones, but I will say there was 2 or 3 that I was literally bored enough to pick my phone up and start scrolling Instagram.
Yeah,
I hate to say that because I love Star Wars, but this episode was money. It was done by the production company Kamikaze Duga.
I like the art style because it feels like an anime cross between like just traditional anime and like a Borderlands animation, and I love that.
Black and white. They did the what
the
is
Kurosawa.
Is that what the
yes.
the style is called? Kurosawa,
like so the traditional Kurosawa original Japanese.
So it was like black and white with the film grain, just a few colors here and there. Really loved it. I love the whole samurai aspect. Pulls a sword out, puts a sword back. He's like
correctly pulls it out too.
Right.
Which,
yeah. I loved it. He was,
and then the sheath also.
Yeah,
the sheath is its own, and he's a collector. And
right, I don't know.
He's not even a Jedi nor a Sith. He's neither.
He's the Ronin.
Yeah,
I loved it. I don't know. I love that episode.
And
yeah, we'll go on. We'll keep moving here. The second episode was Tatooine Rhapsody. That is the episode with the band. Oh, sorry, spoilers. If we're already in this far, hopefully you know that. It'll probably say it on the title or on the picture here, but on
probably.
Anyways, Tatooine Rhapsody. That was the one with the band.
I read that title before watching it, and I was like, surely this is not about a band, because, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody, I mean, I didn't really know the definition of Rhapsody or anything.
I don't feel like the music they were playing fit Star Wars very well. No. It would have been cooler if it was a
rock out version of Cantina theme.
No, if it was literally just the Cantina band.
Yeah, just a whole episode of them going on an adventure. Like one of them takes the flute and it's a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it would have been cooler if it was that. That was done by Studio Colorado. I don't know how you say that. Anyways,
which that takes place a little bit after the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
is when that's supposed to take place.
Not long because Boba Fett. I don't think he was like full-size Boba Fett.
No, he wasn't. So if you looked it up, it actually said that it was a little bit after the Clone Wars, which each one has its own time zone. Like the Ronin was after the sequel movies because they had
episode 3.
The Ronin?
The Tatooine. Oh,
yeah,
no,
Tatooine.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, no. But the Ronin was after the sequel movies because they were all wearing the helmets, and it was after the war, and these people are now bandits, which is really cool.
Yeah. All right, so then we're going to go right on to the twins. This episode was odd. This is where the reimagination of Star Wars Saga, I believe, comes in the most. When you watch the episode, there's twins. One of them ends up like ripping his clothes off and literally looks like a mix of Han Solo and Luke.
Yeah.
And it's like a female and a male twin. And
which they were born from the Sith,
right?
The Force.
So it's like if the
they cut out
series,
the middleman. They cut out the middleman. Yeah, Anakin's gone. It's Luke and Leia, but not
right. And then 2 Star Destroyers with a Death Star thing in the middle. One ends up being
bases,
good,
though, because they quite literally said it could destroy star systems.
Right,
so.
And that's what I'm saying. This is like a reimagination of the Star Wars as a whole. Like basically if this studio in Japan started Star Wars and that's where it started with, I could see it. But like other than that, it's out there. Not to mention they were breathing in space for a solid like 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, it was more than that.
I didn't understand that part, but you know, anyways.
I saw him get launched into space. I was like, "Oh, he's dead." And then he stands up and I was like,
oh, "Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Wait a minute.
The laws of physics don't apply."
We'll go on to the next one here. It is The Village Bride. I did not know what to expect with this one when it first came on. It was kind of odd, and then I ended up really liking this episode.
I'll be honest. I was bored a good amount of the way through the first. And then it got to the point where they were in the village and they were explaining the village people. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then it got to the end. And I was like, hey, this is really cool.
I liked it. And I liked how she ignited her lightsaber. And Gabe mentioned it, and I didn't see it. I had to go back and watch it. And when she ignited it,
the crossbar had a little beam around it,
so
which
the hand guard had a little lightsaber thing. So I guess if you hit somebody with it, it would like cut them too.
It just kind of leave a little burn mark. But like that's really cool because that's impossible with lightsabers because if it's a cracked crystal, it needs a separate emission.
Yeah.
Other than the main.
I also
main
really
emission
liked the
part,
animation
so.
of that one too. I thought it was really solid.
I thought the end, kind of with the heels disconnecting, kind of. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was just cool little details that they do.
On to the next one here, the Ninth Jedi. I forgot to say the Twins was done by the Trigger Studios, and then the Village Bride was Kinema Citrus. So the Ninth Jedi, that was the one with the
Sabersmith.
The Sabersmith, that's right.
I thought this was actually really good.
I did too. I like that one a lot.
I liked the turn on kyber crystals, and I think that there were a lot of complaints actually from this episode, because there were a lot of complaints with the people that were just like, I don't like anime and I don't want to get into this. This is dumb. And then they watch this with negative, just immediately negative, and they're like, oh, this is dumb. This isn't how kyber crystals work. Well, it's their own take on it. Number one, two. Synthetic kyber crystals could absolutely work like this because the Sith have to imprint on these crystals to make them red.
Indeed, they do.
So what if it was like the longer you use it, the more you imprints on a synthetic crystal?
Well, notice how the one guy's lightsaber turned from red to purple because he was actually good, and then she picked it up at first because she's not a Jedi or anything, and it was just like a
clear.
It was just like a clear color,
which I think that's amazing. That could be a total thing for synthetic crystals in canon. Like,
I mean,
you
they
have to eventually imprint onto it for it to change to that color. Mm-hmm. And then if anybody picks it up, it stays that color, but it's because it's been imprinted on. But like newer, as soon as they're like first made, it wouldn't work like that. It'd just be clear or whatever color it is of the wielder.
Right.
Which, that'd be awesome.
That one's done by Production IG. The next episode is TOB1.
I got Pinocchio vibes off of this.
Toby1, TOB1? I don't know how you say it. Anyways.
It felt like an homage for...
he said Pinocchio. Obi-Wan. I didn't really think Pinocchio all that much.
I thought Pinocchio from the beginning. Just from the beginning. Like, where he was like, don't do this. And like,
because he was part robot.
The animation style kind of thing. A little bit.
Because he was a robot.
He wasn't living.
I felt like I got a lot of Mega Man vibes. Like, especially whenever he, like, the one other droid, like, jumped on his back and gave him the rockets. He, like did his thing and like had like this armor on or whatever. He literally looked like Mega Man.
He does look like Mega Man.
He's like a Tron Mega Man.
I solely got Pinocchio vibes because it looked like the Disney movie where it was that kind of animation almost. Like it was fairly similar.
Oh yeah. You know what? I told Allison that as well. I told Allison that this one started.
And he literally looks like, just because he's white is the only thing that stops him from looking like a wooden boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when that one first came out, I actually looked at Allison. I was like, this is like straight up Disney animated.
He looks like Pinocchio.
Yeah,
and he just makes me think of Pinocchio, where it's like, don't do this kind of thing. Like, don't do this kind of thing. It's just.
Right. But I get the Mega Man vibes from like the way that the Toby one actually looked like Mega Man. But other than that, I see what you're saying about Disney.
Yeah,
that was done by Science SARU. The next episode is The Elder. That is episode 7. That is your favorite episode.
No, it's my second favorite
episode. Sorry, Ronan's the best. Yeah,
Ronan is
The Elder was done by Trigger Studios as well. The Elder was okay. I liked it enough.
I liked it a lot. I like the prequel era kind of thing where the Sith are extinct and nobody thinks they're alive, and then there's this dark presence.
Yeah, that is my favorite timeline in Star Wars. I think what I didn't like about episode 7 the most was probably the animation style.
I love the animation actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, what it really looked like the most was probably Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's probably why I liked it.
Which I liked that, but I don't know. There was something about it that was kind of weird. It just wasn't my favorite. I didn't like hate it. It was probably the most like normal animation style of them all, but.
And it felt like it could have been canon. Like it felt like it could have been an actual thing. Like there wasn't anything really straying from canon.
The bad guy.
I liked it. I thought it was cool.
His little tiny
man.
What?
His sabers?
They weren't katanas. They were like, what's the smaller, the middle one here?
Wakizashi.
Wakizashi. Yeah, it's like the Wakizashi little blades. I don't know. I think that was probably what I didn't like about it the most. But on to the next one here, number 8, Lop and Ocho. That one was the one with the bunny thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't really care for that one. It was odd. That was done by Geno Studio. I thought the animation was good on it. The
animation was great.
The story was good.
Story was.
I really liked the story. I liked how the saber was handed down through the generations. I liked the saber itself. I liked the I liked the Japanese feel to it, the dojo. I liked the housing. I liked the
I just
liked
didn't like
everything
the
about
presence of the Empire. The Empire was what I didn't like.
it was kind of
because
weird.
they were weird about it because they're so technologically advanced, but they're using these weapons that make no sense for them to have. Like, it had such a modern-esque feel, but it didn't feel like they meshed the two together. It was like, hey, it was like blunt force trying to blunt it into each other.
I don't think I liked the bunny. It was kind of weird. I'll say it.
Yeah, well,
It was just it was odd. I think it was out of place. I think like her animation versus everyone else, it was just.
I think it would have fit for just her to be like Bosk or somebody.
Yeah, I mean something that we've maybe already seen in the Star Wars universe. Not a bunny person.
You don't really see many furry characters in the Star Wars universe.
Not really. I
They're
mean, there
mostly,
are
like-
some, but there are some. I mean, like, but I don't know. It just it was she was just out of place.
A little bit, yeah.
And more so than.
Which there wasn't even a real presence of aliens on that planet that they were on.
That's what I was saying. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just because it was like
There was no
everyone
meshing
human.
that in. It felt like everything was kind of just like shoved, like rammed together. It wasn't like meshed or anything.
Maybe that's what it was. Like everything is just human, and then you have a bunny. And I was like, "Hello, bunny." I don't know. It was odd. I liked the story of it, and I liked the animation and everything else. It was just the bunny character itself.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was a Wampa or something. The last episode was Akakiri, and that was also done by Science SARU, and that was the one where the queen, the very last episode, the queen,
Princess.
it was a princess, yeah, and then the queen's sister was Sith, and the Jedi had to go save them, but ended up turning bad.
And I thought, actually, okay, the first time I watched it, I didn't have the best, thoughts on it, but like I rewatched it, and the irony in it is very nice. It fits perfectly where he's having these visions, and he's like, "Oh,
The vision is his master said, "Don't go because it could turn you to the dark side." When you have these visions, same thing for Anakin.
Yeah.
When you have these premonitions of the future, don't follow them because you are literally the one that's going to make them happen by doing that. Like they just said several times in Star Wars, and it's like, don't do it. What does he do? He does it. What happens? He kills the princess.
Man often causes is the thing that they seek to destroy the most, or whatever. I can't remember the quote.
I never heard that one before, Gabe.
Yeah, it's weird.
That was odd.
Yeah, I can't think of what the quote is.
Well, anyways, that was a little bit of a go through of the show itself. I think it had. I really like when they do a mashup, a collab of a bunch of different studios
Absolutely.
with different animation styles. I like it when they do that. There are other shows that have done that before that I like to watch. It gives it a lot of different perspective here. Even if it was the same storyline, but every single one of them had a different animation style would be really cool too. I like that too. Just if you're not used to animes, you might not like it as much, but I think the first episode really is that came in strong. I would have been cool if it was the last episode. I don't know.
I would absolutely take a full series based off of the first
100%.
episode.
Yeah, in the same style.
Number 7, I could accept that as being part of canon somewhere. Like, it just exists. I mean, all you'd have to change is the blades. The blades is it, basically. Because everything else pretty much perfectly fit. Because, I mean, they don't fit. They're katana-shaped.
Darksaber.
Yeah, sure, but it's a one-of-a-kind. And they want to keep that one-of-a-kind.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever. The only thing that really needs to, you'd have to probably end up changing a lot of the style to Ronin if it was canon, but
I hear thunder. Thundercats. Oh. Anyways, that was it. I think we're gonna go on from this into another part of the show, and you know what that part of the show is, where we give stuff away. The good part, where we have to give away Candace Daly's cards that we don't have in our hand right now. But we're giving away the 4 cards from last week from Candace Daly. Really awesome cards. Candace Daly's awesome. We've tried to do several episodes or several interviews with her besides the main interview we did, and you can go check that out on an episode in the past. I will probably link it right here. I think I figured out how to do that last time. I tried to do another one last weekend at SpaCon. I'm terrible at interviews because we're such good friends that we just laugh the whole time and talk about random stuff.
Yep.
Not sure what that's about. Anyways, so we're going to give those away now. We're going to run that. Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations to the 4 winners and the loot box winner. We love you. We don't forget about you. And because there's only 4 cards, we're making that loot box extra special and throwing some good stuff in there. And now on to this week's artist. Now we're doing this week's artist. And this week's artist is none other than Ronnie Crowther. One of our good friends and artists from the UK. He's an awesome dude, super awesome dude, and he posts some funny stuff sometimes whenever he's sending out cards, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, love his work, and they're actually right here on the overhead this week. The remaining 8 cards we have here. We'll start off with this guy here, and that is Daggett.
Caterpillar.
Daggett. Muffet, the robot Daggett, sorry, and he is from Battlestar Galactica. We have the troglodyte here from Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger from 1977.
Caesar, Planet of the Apes.
What?
I'm naming off my names
Gabe
for them.
is just naming them off random. This is Ludo from Labyrinth.
That is Where the Wild Things Are.
That's what I actually thought it was the first time. We have Vincent and Bob from The Black Hole. This is a Disney film. Actually, it was kind of like, I'm not going to say a knockoff Star Wars, but it was kind of a knockoff Star Wars before they owned Star Wars.
That's an M&M Dalek.
An M&M Dalek.
That's what I said.
Got you. We have Darkness from Legend here.
Hellboy.
All right, I got you. We have Cylon the Centurion from Battlestar Galactica.
That's just a really much upgraded RoboCop.
You see RoboCop out of that?
I can't think of what else. Megatron? I don't know.
Right. We have Rel the Cyclops from Krull.
That is from Percy Jackson.
Or, several other things.
The Odyssey.
The Odyssey, yeah. All right. We have Tweaky from Buck Rogers right here on the final card here, number 8.
I ain't got one for that.
You don't have one for that? That's
No.
Saluting Robot Man.
Robo Maid. I don't know.
Tweaky.
I don't know.
And this is the 8 cards left from Ronnie Crowther. Make sure that you enter to win. All you got to do is just click the first link in the description and fill that link out. All you got to make sure that you fill it out properly, and we'll send it out to you. I don't want you to fill it out wrongly. Make sure you double check it before you send it, because if you do and we can't get it out to you, and there's no way we can email you or get it back, and it's just unless you email us. So make sure you fill it out properly so we can get these cards out to you. And then make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Gabe, what else do you want them to do? Do a little dance?
I don't know.
Jump through hula hoop? Ring of fire? Oh, I wanted to read you a quote from Star Wars website here real quick as we wrap the show up. The Star Wars website, do I still have it? Said, blah, blah, blah. Star Wars Visions is here. The anthology series is now streaming on Disney Plus, featuring original shorts from some of the world's best anime studios. That part right there. Well, I looked it up, and I don't know if they're the best anime studios in the world. The only ones I actually noticed were Vinland Saga was from one of them, and JoJo was from the other one. So I had to say it because there was a claim. Also, Kathleen Kennedy said that there was going to be 10 episodes, and there was only 9. So
she's not on top of things ever.
No, she's not. I definitely think.
Before we say too much, bye.